Hello, everybody. Weekly reading recap. This is gonna be a short, super condensed edition because I just filmed and edited this whole video already, and then it got corrupted and I had to delete it. So here we go again. I basically skipped a week, so we're gonna have a little bit of extra stuff to talk about this time around. I finished Blackwater by Michael McDowell. I began this week on part 2 of this. I only intended to read part 2 and part 3. I ended up loving it so much. The character development is so good. It's this family history of the Caskey family from like the later, somewhere in there, 1800s through to like the 1970s, basically. I was sold this book thinking that it was going to be some crazy ass horror novel. It was not that. This is closer to historical fiction and straight up family lineage drama than anything else. There's like a twinge of a dark fantasy horror element to it. Nothing too crazy. Every character in here is so well executed and so well brushed out. Everyone's so believable. You get to see how people change, how they grow, how their environment and how the times shapes their actions and their reactions. It's really, really, really good. Book of the year contender, easy. Directly on the heels of Blackwater, I read Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Eames. This was a shit the bed book for me. I'm a heavy metal dude, lifelong. This one, I felt like it wasn't executed very well. The jokes didn't land for me. There's nothing new. There's nothing new in here. It seems kind of like playing someone else's Dungeons and Dragons game. Or it's like when you go over to someone's house and they're just like, look at my magic cards. And you have no idea, like no interest in what's going on. That's kind of how I felt with this. I've got Bloody Rose as well. I looked into it. It's more of the same. I will be donating probably both of these here pretty quick. On the heels of Kings of the Wyld, I went for something that I absolutely knew I would enjoy. I read Sword of the Lictor by Gene Wolfe, book 3 of the Book of the New Sun. This fixed it up right away. I loved every single second of it. It was the best of the 3 books by Gene Wolfe that I've read so far. Every time I read a Gene Wolfe book, it takes about 80 to 100 pages for me to realize that, I don't have everything figured out. So, and to kind of like realize, oh shit, I'm confused. Oh, there's the confusion. Oh, this is upending everything that I read before. What's going on? What do you mean it's a spaceship? Who are you? You're a robot? This whole crazy shit, dude. I look forward to rereading this over and over and over again, because I can tell that every single time I reread it, you're gonna be able to take another layer of the mystery off and just understand it a little bit more and a little bit more. The imagery is beautiful, the story is beautiful, the prose is beautiful. Not all the characters are lovable, but that's kind of the point. Super stoked. Citadel of the Autarch is definitely I'm gonna try to fit that in at the end of the month if it is possible. I did read 2 books on Kindle on my phone. I read Hawksbill Station by Robert Silverberg. You'll probably recognize him from like Downward to the Earth, the Book of Skulls, a bunch of other famous. He's written all kinds of shit, all kinds of famous stuff. He's one of my personal favorite authors of like the new wave of the 60s into the 70s. I absolutely loved it. It's about a penal colony where they send people back 1 billion years into the past before, like, when the Earth's completely different. Um, it reminded me a whole lot of Farewell Earth's Bliss by D.G. Compton. It's less bleak. It's not bleak, but it's much less bleak than that. And it, unlike Farewell Earth's Bliss, it's able to give you more flashback of how the people actually got to the penal colony and the story that brought them there. That was really awesome. The other book that I read on Kindle was Mockingbird by Walter Tevis. This is from 1980. Futuristic dystopian sci-fi where everyone's addicted to drugs and no one's having babies anymore, and there's certain robots that can like last way into the future that are supposed to watch over people until the very last end of humanity. It's super awesome. I loved it. I loved both of these books that I read on Kindle very much. Very, very, very much. As for what I am reading now, I pulled back out my collected poems of Ursula K Le Guin. This had been put back on the shelf for about 2 or 3 months now. I hadn't been reading any of it. I hadn't really felt the drive to go back to it all too much. Now that the weather has changed and we've got daylight savings time and it gets darker earlier now, I'm feeling the pull of the poetry. So I'm loving that. In our book club for philosophy, the spoke Zarathustra. We had our meeting last Friday where we went and we talked about the first book, the first part. I'm definitely loving the conversations that come out of this more so than the book itself. Quite interesting. There's a lot that I agree with, there's a lot that I don't agree with, and it is making for beautiful discussion in our philosophy discussion group. Let's see. Last night I started Kurt Vonnegut's The Sirens of Titan. I am on chapter 2. This is filling the void so very well. Gene Wolfe fixed up and gave me what I needed from the prose of what I was missing with Kings of the Wyld, and this is very much giving me the satire that I felt like I was missing from Kings of the Wyld. This is just beautiful. The prose is biting. It's quick and it's easy. It's funny. It is witty. It's sharp as a knife. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving this. That is what I'm reading now. Once I finish some of these, what I have coming up next, The Passion According to G.H. by Clarice Lisprctre. I put this on a reading later, on a video that I did probably close to a month ago at this point. It's time. I need to get to it. This is the story of a woman crushing a cockroach in her bathroom and then being sent spiraling into this mindless, like, psychological break. And this is the story of everything that goes on in her mind during the course of that. Apparently it's pretty fucking crazy. A titan of Brazilian literature. I haven't read Clarice Lispector before. However, the few people that I've talked to who actually know who she is, everyone who does know of her considers her like a monument of literature and one of their personal favorite artists. And the last book I have here, I've got from the library the first 3 books. I have book 1 here of Blood on the Tracks, a manga. I don't know all too much about it. I'm pretty vague on it. It is family catastrophe. Apparently, it's just tragedy after tragedy of a very good life turning into a very bad life. Um, yeah, even the art in the very front looks devastating. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty crazy. Looking forward to it. Bring on the sad shit, dude. Bring on the sad shit. Little tiny bit of an update. I originally had planned to read the Dreaming Tree duology by C.J. Cherry. However, I have taken this off of the list in lieu of some of these other things that I'm going to be reading. There's a less, but there's not a 0% chance that that's going to be a huge miss for me. And after already not having a great time with Kings of the Wyld, I'm not trying to have two major disappointments in the same month. So I'm shelving that again for a while, and we will move on with that. Last little thing here, for the Read What You Own challenge. I started my Read What You Own challenge, 12,500 pages, on the 1st of November. I got a little bit of an early start, so I might have to push it back. We'll see how it goes, because as of today, the 8th of November, I am sitting at 1,284 pages read so far. I'm chugging along. I am reading up a storm, not talking to people, you know. And it's great. That's what I've been reading. Let me know what you're reading down in the comments, and catch you guys later. Cheers.